Gaming Month! This is a direct rip-off of PewDiePie's Gaming Week, the one where he started playing Minecraft and then revived the whole game over yada yada yada. This is the motivation meter. And it's at 0. I have no motivation to animate, but you know what I do have motivation for? Playing video games. And you know what else I need? Content. Merge the two together. Gaming Month! Minecraft Dungeons. The new Minecraft game without mining nor crafting. Okay. The game was released just over a week ago, okay? And I wanted to see if it was a good game. Or if it was just another scheme to grab yours and your mother's wallet by abusing the Minecraft name. Or if it was gonna get forgotten in a few months, like a few other Minecraft related games I know. In the game, there are 3 main game modes: Default, Adventure, and Apocalypse mode. And it has 10 levels. Squid Coast, Creeper Woods, Soggy Swamp, Pumpkin Frick, how do I pronounce it? Pastures? Pumpkin Pastures? Whatever, that one. Cacti Canyon, Redstone Mines, the Desert Temple, Fiery Forge, High Block Halls, and the final level, the Obsidian Pinnacle. Now I'm going to be honest, I was exceptionally skeptical of the game at first. I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy it, but then I saw my friends purchasing the game and I was just like, I want to be cool! Let's purchase the game! So I got it. Started off playing alone on the default difficulty, but I was very quick to realize that the game was based off Dungeon Crawler, which, to be fair, the game does credit themselves. They're just like, oh, it's inspired by Dungeon Crawler, and I'm like, good on you, Mojang. But it is very apparent from the offset that this game was intended to be for Xbox players, because, well, when I went to go to change the controls, it only gave me the option to change the Xbox controls, and I'm a PC player, so I don't know how that worked, and I wasn't using a wired Xbox controller, so I don't know. But the game itself is pretty simplistic and easy to play. You just click on wherever you want to go, click on the chest to open them, click on the enemies to attack them. It all relies on clicking, so if you can't click, get a mouse, you poor little Once I had killed a few mobs, I realized that they dropped armor and weapons. And armor weapons also came from chests that you find scattered across the maps. Speaking of the maps, they are all randomly generated. Every time you replay a level, the terrain changes so you can't end up memorizing areas to hide or glitch in or whatever. This makes the game far more interesting to replay, although the boss rooms and the terrain around the boss rooms do stay the same. The Squid Coast level is a tutorial to get you to the main camp. The main camp acts as like a spawn hub. You start missions from here, and once you've found it, you're kind of stuck there. In the camp there is 2 villages, the Wandering Trader and the Blacksmith. The Wandering Trader will give you artifacts based on your current power level, and the Blacksmith will give you tools, weapons, and armor based on your current power level. Artifacts are kind of like power-ups. You could explode enemies far off into the distance, or regenerate your health instantly, whatever your playstyle is. But you can only have 3 on your character at once. Your character's power level is determined by how good the tools and weapons you have are. When playing the game, I didn't worry about power levels. Because, well, you will slowly become more powerful the more levels you do, regardless. There's no point worrying about it. As far as the bosses are concerned, the bosses are like the bosses in LEGO games. The attack patterns are predictable, but still hard. However, being the pro gamer that I am, I managed to kill all the bosses first try. That was until the final boss. The final boss, defeating the Arch-Illager, which acts as like the bad guy for the story. It's hard, at least for me anyways. The game manages to make a boss that's appropriate for your power level, so even when you have the best gear you can get, the boss is still hard. I died lots, But I killed it. I was really happy when I killed it, but then you know what? The gates didn't open. I killed the Arch-Illager, and the game wouldn't let me through. Wanna know why? Dude has another form. I have no idea why, but this Heart of Ender boss exists. And why the Arch-Illager turns into it, I don't know. It isn't explained in the story, or at least from what I can understand, so I was confused. But I died lots more. And then, after lots of failing and retrying, I killed it. And then, after completing default mode, I unlocked adventure mode. I decided to go onto multiplayer, so I hopped into a voice chat with two of my friends, and we decided to clear adventure mode together, which is like the medium mode. It was here that I realized that the levels are based off the character, as in the game you can choose multiple characters to play as. The more you level up one character, the harder the game becomes when playing with that one specific character. The game has an interesting feature, where the more players that are in the level, the more mobs spawn accordingly. There were 3 of us, so there were 3 times as many mobs. However, because we all had completed the default game mode, we killed most of the mobs with ease. Even with our overpowered gear, it was only easy mode gear. Kinda like Terraria's pre-hard mode gear. You get the best stuff possible, and then you kill the wall of flesh, and now everything's hard again. After dying many more times, we finally killed the Arch-Illager together. I don't have footage of when we killed it, but just trust me, we did it, okay? Just trust me. However, it was in multiplayer that I discovered one of the game's biggest flaws, like phenomenal, gigantic flaws. You can't drop items to other players. That's right. A multiplayer game doesn't have the ability to give items to other people. I haven't played the original Dungeon Crawler game, so I have no idea if this is an intended feature or not, but it is exceptionally annoying. Because the mob drops are unique to every player, or at least that's what it says. So it would make some sort of sense. But it doesn't. Because when you open the supplies chests, I thoroughly remember accidentally stealing my friend's supplies while playing the game, which would mean that the drops aren't unique to each player. I'm not sure, but it's definitely one of the few complaints I have about the game. Another complaint I have about it is its variety. Once you've completed the Apocalypse mode, there doesn't seem to be anything else to do. You finish the game on the final level, time to go back to ordinary Minecraft. You could pay additional money for the game's DLCs, but like, come on, who wants to spend money? Granted, the DLCs aren't out at the time of this recording, but I'm gonna take a wild guess and assume that it's only like 2 levels per DLC. But if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself in the comments, or some angry Minecraft Dungeons fan will correct me for me. But despite its flaws, despite the fact that it's obviously meant for Xbox, and despite the fact that you can't drop items in a multiplayer game, I did thoroughly enjoy Minecraft Dungeons. I'm not an expert critic or anything, but like I said in the